What's good, everybody? We are finally done with the trade deadline. This trade deadline was exciting. It was very exciting. Most of it was exciting because a lot of dumb stuff happened, and we will get into that. A lot of dumb stuff happened a couple of days ago. Some of it happened today. So let's get straight into this. You already see the highlights we're looking at right now. James Harden forced his way out of Brooklyn. I didn't like it. I'm pretty sure we all know why he's why he left Brooklyn. It got too hard for him, so he wants to leave. And, hey, that's just how some people are. But he forced his way out of Brooklyn. He got traded to the 76ers, and he got traded for my boy. I'm happy I get to see my boy hoop this year. The trade was James Harden to the Nets for Ben Simmons, Steph Curry, and Andre Drummond. Now, we're going to talk about the 76ers first. For the 76ers, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. A lot of people loving it, saying, oh, yeah, this is the best duo in the league. They're automatically going to the finals. They're the best team in the East. No, I don't believe that at all. I don't like the fit. This whole year, we've been watching Joel Embiid dominate with this team. I already said I believe they can do something with the team that they already had. We're watching him dominate, not all pick and rolls, all face-ups. Being dominant in the post, being dominant at all three levels in the post, at the three-point shot and under the rim. He's dominant all over the place. With a guy like James Harden, for James Harden to kind of get in his groove, you're going to have to run a lot of pick and rolls. I don't like that for Joel Embiid. Like James Harden, he got mad because essentially he was the third option on this team. He was after Kyrie and KD because those were the stars that they brought there. This team didn't value him like the Houston Rockets did. He wasn't the main guy. So now you trade him to the 76ers while not only Joel Embiid was playing career basketball, Tyrese Maxey, a guy that a lot of people loved and felt like he had star potential, and he still might have it. But now that star potential is going to have to wait a couple years because you got to play behind James Harden. Tyrese Maxey was the lead guard for this team. Now, sometimes he might not even touch the ball because, yes, you got James Harden, yes, you got Joel Embiid. Then you also got Tobias Harris, who's making $35 million and needs to get his touches too. So, I don't know. I don't like that, man. And I hope Harden doesn't come in here and take this MVP away from Joel Embiid because I feel like it's just him and Giannis. They're up there playing at an MVP level, and they're going to be fighting for it for the rest of the year. But now that he got James Harden, I don't know. It might take away from his shots, might take away from his game, because now he has to play a whole new game. He has to learn to know a whole new game because Harden is a difficult player to play with. And they gave him a lot of depth, bro. We're going to talk about it, but giving up Andre Drummond, who is probably played career basketball over here. I think the bench role is the best role for him, and he's been hooping in it. He's been thriving in it. And then they gave up their second best player. Yes, I said it. Seth Curry is better than Tobias Harris. Seth Curry probably don't put up better numbers than Tobias, but Seth Curry meant more to that 76ers than Tobias Harris. Now, really, Joel Embiid has nobody to do that whole two-man with. I don't like the two-man with him and James Harden. It's going to work, but that Seth Curry and James Harden two-man was... Boy, that shit was crazy, bro. That was crazy, but, hey, they're trying to make a move. They're trying to make the finals, and Daryl Morey got his guy, so... I can't really be that mad at it. And Brooklyn Nets are the clear-cut winner of this trade, not only because they got a player like Ben Simmons, but they ended up getting Seth Curry and Andre Drummond, two guys that they needed. They needed a real center. Even though we all have our nitpicks about Andre Drummond, he's a decent center. And when you give him a role, he thrives. They gave him a role off the bench. I don't know what they're going to do with this team, but he thrives with a role. Hopefully this team gives him a role, and with players like KD, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons, he doesn't really have to do so much. He has people in front of him, so he knows I can't be out here doing dumb shit. We're actually trying to win. A guy like Seth Curry, they needed more shooting with this team. Surprisingly, with all the great scores that they had, they didn't have a lot of shooting. You get a guy like Seth Curry, one of the best shooters of all time. Not to a lot of people. When you look at the numbers, Seth Curry is one of the best shooters of all time. You get him, pair him next to Kyrie and Ben and KD, man, their offense is going to be super hard to stop. And let's talk about when they go to the playoffs. When they go to the playoffs, like they said a couple weeks ago, the Brooklyn Nets have the option to pay a fine for Kyrie to play at home. They're going to pay that motherfucking fine. They're going to pay that fine, bro, because now it's time to win. They're going to pay that fine. So you're telling me in the playoffs, they're going to be out here running out Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Kyrie. Not saying Kyrie or Seth Curry. I'm not saying Kyrie's playing the 3, but that's just how I would have it. I would have Ben Simmons be a major ball handler because he is a point guard. And then having KD at the 4 and Andre Drummond at the 5. And then off the bench, you got Bruce Brown, LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin. He's still a decent player. Who else am I missing? Joe Harris off the bench. And I'm missing one more person. Cam Thomas, Patty Mills. Like, the offensive power with this team is wild. And then you don't even know. They can get something in the buyout market, man. They clearly won this trade, bro. KD was out here guarding the other team's best player because they have no defenders. Now you get one of the best defenders in the league, if not the best. One of the best defenders, perimeter defenders in the league. I say he's the best probably. It's him and Drew Holiday. You get him to pair next to Kevin Durant, so Kevin Durant doesn't have to do all that. Now Kevin Durant is more dominant on the offensive side because he doesn't have to do that much on the defensive side. Kevin Durant and Ben Simmons pick and roll is going to be fucking scary. I don't want to see it, but this trade made them dangerous, bro. I think they're clearly way better than the 76ers, man. The 76ers have a lot of flaws, especially when it comes to the playoff time. Yes, Ben Simmons had his woes in the playoffs. But when you look at a guy like Joel Embiid, who's continuously having woes in the playoffs, James Harden never steps up in the big moments. Not saying he's a bad playoff player, but when it comes to having big moments, when you can actually do something, doesn't step up. Clear point. When they missed 27 threes in a row against a hurt Warriors team where they were favored to win after KD got hurt. And now they came back, and the Warriors ended up winning that series. Like stuff like that. He doesn't step up in the big moments. So when I'm looking at a team like the Nets with two of the most skillful players we've ever seen of all time, two of the best playoff performers we've ever seen of all time, and then you're giving them a player like Ben Simmons, one of the most dynamic players we have in this league, this team is nasty, bro. This team even got even more scarier because this is a way better fit than having James Harden. A way better fit. Way better fit. I wish right after the James Harden trade, they had rumors of them trying to get Miles Turner. If they would have got Miles Turner, you might as well just hand them the ring. You're going to argue between them and Milwaukee because Milwaukee also got better today too. But between both of them, man, they were both killers, bro. This team is nasty. Both of these teams are nasty. Now, you seen the other day, like I said earlier, this trade deadline had a lot of questionable trades. The other day, Tyrese Halliburton get traded to the Pacers, one of the most questionable trades we've seen in a minute. This trade was real dumb. Real dumb. For the Mavericks. Kristaps Porzingis was having his second best season in the NBA. His first best season was obviously his All-Star season last year on the Knicks. But this season, Kristaps was hooping. Now, Tim Legler, you made an enemy out of me today. I'm a Kristaps fan, so yeah, you definitely made an enemy out of today. He said they call him the unicorn because we never seen him, which is a dumbass fucking statement. Kristaps Porzingis was out with COVID, missed 6 games. Now he's having an injury. He's been out for the last 5 games. But other than that, the dude has played 34 games. What are you talking about? That's why I told people stop watching NBA TV because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, bro. I forgot. There was one post. There was one crazy ass post I was posted earlier, but I ain't gonna talk about that. But yeah, that pissed me off to a certain extent. And then he's saying that like Kristaps was playing bad. Kristaps this year is averaging 28-2, not 28, but 20-8-2. This team is a top 5 defense this year. It's not because nobody else. They have quality defenders, but the main reason why they're a top 5, top 10 defense is because Kristaps. So for him to say that dumbass shit, that blew my mind. That pissed me off at work. I couldn't get off my phone because I was so mad that every time I seen that tweet, I was commenting under it because I was so mad. Cause I'm like, bro, you talking to him? You talking about him like he having a bad year? And you talking about him like he's missed a lot of games. They played. Let's see as a team how much games they played. As a team, no, Dallas Mavericks have played 55 games. He missed 6 or 7 games with COVID, and then other 10 games, he missed games. Luka missed the same amount of games. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. It was a period of time when Luka was out and KP and Jalen Brunson were carrying the team, sort of like what Seth Curry and KP were doing a couple years ago. But I don't want to hear that shit. KP has been hooping this season. Hopefully he can stay even more healthy, because when he gets traded to this Washington Wizards teams, he has nobody in front of him. Literally nobody. Yeah, literally nobody. Bradley Beal's out for the season. Kyle Kuzma's been hooping, but man, I don't give a fuck. KP is that guy. Hopefully KP is not on this team next year. Hopefully you can get somebody to trade for him, because I really like KP, bro. And I think KP still has a lot left. KP was actually hooping this year. So that whole shit that they was talking about was dumb. But I'm not even gonna switch no highlights to show y'all Spencer Dinwiddie. They traded Kristaps Porzingis for Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans, and their excuse was we wanted to lose some cap. Kristaps is making $35 million. Those two guys who are having terrible seasons, one is shooting 36% from the field, and the other one is shooting 35%, and both of them are making 15 to 16 million. So essentially, you're paying them 31 million, who they can't fucking stay healthy, and even when they're healthy, they're terrible. So what, Mark Cuban? You need to get drug tested, or you need a life sentence, because that made no sense. I want to know how Luka feels about this, because now y'all was talking about, oh, we got to give some players for Luka, man. Luka can't keep carrying us in the playoffs. He's going to have to do that shit again. I thought they had a good chance of coming out the first round this year. Not anymore. Not anymore, bro. Luka is by himself. We love Jalen Brunson. We love him, but, man, come on. Luka is by himself right now. KP was hooping for y'all. It made no sense to do that. Talking about we got to get rid of his money. If you want to do that after the season. Right now, get rid of his money for essentially some dumbass trade where you're trading for Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. Davis Bertans' main job is to hit a three. He can't even hit a fucking three this season. What's the point? What's the point, man? The trades today, some were exciting and some were just fucking idiotic, bro. Some were idiotic, but I'm happy KP's getting a chance to go to a place where hopefully somebody actually wants him. If not, he will get traded this offseason, and I'm praying he gets traded to the Charlotte Hornets, because they would be disgusting. Now, the team that I feel won the trade deadline is the Indiana Pacers. The team that for so long, bro, we were hoping, just press the rebuild button. They kind of pressed it. Hopefully, I wish they would have got Miles Turner, but they kind of pressed it. Getting Tyrese Halliburton, I told y'all in my video the other day that the couple people that watched it, I don't know why that video didn't do views, but I told y'all that was a really good trade for their future. And then you round that up with getting a Jalen Smith. When in that little stretch Jalen Smith had when he actually got playing time, the dude was averaging a double-double. Yes, he was playing with one of the best point guard minds of all time, but he was hooping. You pair him next to Tyrese, who is also a great basketball mind. You want to some shit. You got Tyrese, Jalen Smith, and Chris Duarte, and then you get a first round top 5 pick in the offseason. Man, this Indiana Pacers team, bro. This is finally what you needed to do, and you're doing it. You're doing a rebuild, and I love what they're doing, bro. I love it. Other than that, man, it really wasn't no other trades for me to talk about. That Derek White, Josh Richardson trade. I don't care. The Goran Dragic for Thaddeus Young trade was so weird. It was so awkward. This is so awkward. The Serge Ibaka trade. Matter of fact, let's talk about that. So the Bucks did what they needed to do, man. They try to make this back-to-back run, and I think they're gonna do it. I have them coming out the East, and I have them winning the championship. I don't see a team being the Bucks. I know y'all seen what Giannis did the other day, man. I don't see a team being this team. And they needed more bigs. They went out there and got one. Sucks you had to trade Dante DiVincenzo, but you do have other shooters that have been playing better. Not Garrison. What's his name? Grayson Allen has been playing better. Wesley Matthews has been playing better. So maybe you really don't need him. And then it's always a buyout market. But then you get rid of him. Also, Marvin Bagley went to the Detroit Pistons. I really like that. But you get another big in Serge Ibaka. I would still start Bobby Portis. But this makes it so you don't have to go out there and try to rush Brook Lopez. If he needs to take the rest of the season off, you can take it off. We're going to be fine. Serge Ibaka is going to bring a lot of what Brook Lopez brings to the team. Some decent defense, good shot blocking, and spreading the floor. So this team, man, I really don't see a team being this team. The only team I can possibly see Is the Nets? A lot of people going to say the Heat. Not yet. I'm not believing that yet. This Bucks team is disgusting, scary. I'm mad Marcus Morris didn't get traded. Same with Luke Kennard, but I understand it. Next year they're going to be full throttle. Next year they're going to be monsters. But that's it for this video, man. Really exciting but confusing trade deadline. Other than that, I will speak to y'all tomorrow. Peace out.